look, the bone I have to pick with that is like you're literally just doing like another religion. Like you're not
That's the point.
special. Like,
No, 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 no. But the
but the
point
thing is,
isn't to be
the thing
special.
is like the thing is like you're not gonna accomplish anything. You're just gonna start a cult. You know,
N-
like you're just gonna start like another like there's you're just, best
But
case
you
scenario.
that
You're
assumes that
just
we
gonna
have a
make a
specific
like you're
teaching
just
style.
yeah, but you're just like that's like Buddhism already. That's already like Christianity. Like
No,
you're just
no, no,
gonna
no,
For
form like
all
no, no.
but
No.
just
I can point
talking
out what's
about
wrong with those. Here's what it comes down to. I can point out what's wrong with those religions. It can. This is what it'll all come down to at the end of the day. You try and point out what consequences you think can come of my religion, and or give me a religion which you think has no consequences, and I will point out its consequences. Because every single religion which has ever existed up to this point has consequences, except for mine. No one has ever pointed out a consequence to me. You can try, but either there's a misunderstanding of the religion, or there's something which has not been thought of yet. Because there are no
I mean
flaws. There are flaws in the way people
the,
could misinterpret
the
it,
thing is
but
like
no flaws if you interpret it
the
correctly.
thing is like that's and what happens when you're dead and it turns into the next generation and then it's all misinterpreted and then
Well,
dogmified.
the thing is that it's written inherently with. Okay, so this is one of the things that's
Yeah,
not
but
understanding.
that was
I no
the
longer
thing is like
believe.
every prophet. The thing is every prophet ever tried to do what you're trying to do, and if
No,
no
they
one
did
has
not.
ever succeeded,
Okay, okay, no, they did not. Okay, so Buddhism. Okay, he's telling you what the truth is. He's telling you that there are other realms. There are written passages directly in Buddhism which talk about other realms, the realms after ours, the realms where there's a man with a giant net and he runs around all day and he catches his food. He's telling you that. The Christianity, guess what? They're telling you that there's heaven. They're telling you that there's a God. Mine, I'm telling you nothing. There's absolutely nothing written in that you need to believe. My religion is written off of one core concept, and this has changed. This was not the way when I last talked to you. When I last talked to you, I had a belief in God. No longer do I have any belief in God. Because if God knew that you had belief in him, he would spit in your mouth. God hates belief. God does not like belief. God wants one thing, and you should want one thing, which is efficiency. All you want is the best thought texture. It's a completely selfish goal. It's a completely selfish objective, and that is where you should start from. The point of complete and total objectivity. All you want is the best thought texture. From that point, you will logically reach the conclusion that the best way to think about the world is from the perspective that you are everything else, that you are one with everything else. From that perspective, you will find the best results. You will find the best results in fighting. You will find the best results in video games. You will find the best result in your own happiness. You will find the best result in your meditations. Every single thing that you ever do, your social interactions, every single thing from that point on will be benefited if you run everything through the framework of being one with everything else. But that's all. That's it. It's you should only do what feels best for you. That's the whole religion. That's it. It's only what is the best thought texture. And from that point, you should eventually logically reach my same conclusion, which is that you should embrace the fact you run with everything else for yourself. And then from that point, you will gain empathy and you will gain the ability to have concepts like, oh, I will no longer let slavery repeat. Because in my religion, I understand that I am also these people that are enslaved. You should be able to understand veganism. I'm not a good person, so I'm not a vegan. But it's clear from the way I understand the world that if I was a good person, I should be a vegan because these animals aren't suffering. They are suffering, and I am them, and I will experience them. And I shouldn't not eat them because I'm a good person. That's not why. I should not eat them because I will experience that suffering. I will experience what it feels like to be a cow getting its brains blown out and its stomach cut open and getting turned into a cheeseburger. And right now, like
See,
I'm fine with
what
that.
I would
Go ahead.
what I would counter that with is like you won't necessarily experience that though. Like that's
Oh,
like the theory of the religion, but you won't necessarily.
okay, but okay. Now you have to explain what makes you you because you're saying you won't experience that, but the issue is that you have some definition of you, and what I would say is point that concept out to me anywhere in science because I can take you to psychology, I can take you to neuroscience, I can take you to physics, I can take you anywhere you want to go, and I will tell you that there is no me. There is no thing which you are considering a me. So you may say that, well, Ashton won't experience the cow. I'm not saying Ashton will experience the cow. I'm saying God will experience the cow. I'm saying reality will experience the cow. And there are no metaphysical beliefs, there are no religious beliefs. I'm not saying that God is a big man in the sky, or that God wants the best thing for you, or that God can affect reality. I'm not saying any of those things. All I'm saying is that God is reality, God is what exists, and you are everything that exists. Because there is no way for you to differentiate you from that larger puzzle. And whenever you understand that, your life will get better. And you, as a selfish person, should want your life to get better. That's my whole religion.
The thing is like I think that I've like I've been there I think, but it's like I've you all- like there's a certain like cutthroat nature to life, I feel like. And there's it's like I'm okay with the cow suffering for me to get my meat. And it's like I know the cow is like an equal entity to me, but it's unequal to me because I choose myself because I'm selfish. So
But
that's kind of an issue there because it's like once you establish that, you still have to continually decide to be a good person. It doesn't, I don't know. It's
uh,
like,
I would never use the word. I use them, and this was my fault for using them. It was wrong of me to say I am a bad person for eating the cow. That is an incorrect statement. There is no objective good or bad because all I am is existence, and existence has no perspective whether it's good or bad to eat the cow. So that was it was inappropriate of me to label it that way. What I mean is that when you understand that you are the cow, you at least understand why it would be bad to eat the cow from a typical human perspective. And
oh
I'll just
yeah,
put it this
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because there
Teaching that I think would certainly be good. I'm
exactly.
just like, I'm
It's
not
just teaching
sure how
empathy,
sick.
man. Because that one thing, that ability to give up the truth for efficiency, I think, is the number one thing in stable being able to like stably keep up a religion. Because to like because this is a thing that me and Trevor were talking about is that I go through periods in my life where even now, like the last couple months were like a bad, not even the last like month was like a bad period for me. I was a stagnant period, and then just like yesterday, which is obviously like I said, fucking weird because we're calling today. Yesterday I had the breakthrough where that switched again, and here's what switched. I understood that I was believing my religion, and that I was believing it like a Christian would believe a religion. I was believing it dogmatically, and that led me to this horrible place where it was like I knew what was true, but I couldn't access it because it was external to myself. And it was this thing which existed outside of myself, and I could almost get it, and sometimes I could kind of know it, and I was always trying to understand it, but it was never in my hand. And then I finally realized it's because I'm being a fucking pansy, and God would spit in my eyeballs if he knew I was trying to believe in him. And God would tell me, no, what the point of God is to taste the best thought texture. That's the point of him existing in the first place. The point of reality unfolding was to taste the frameworks, to taste the way they feel. And because of
See
that,
see that I say to say that is a pretentious statement,
and what I would say back to that
but
is
it's good lore.
no, no, no. I have a very. It goes beyond that. I would. That's not just a statement in truth. That's a statement in efficiency, because that statement isn't just true. And not only do I believe that it's true, because it's not belief, which is the fundamental thing. The root is in efficiency, because I only believe that statement because believing that statement leads me to this state where I am optimum efficiency. I am nothing but efficiency. I understand that I am God. I am the one, and the point of the one is to optimize frameworks, to put everything in the perfect order, to
See,
taste the
okay,
music played off the instrument.
so I think I seek to find the most true thing, and in my experience, the most true thing is simultaneously the most efficient thing. It's a
And now
correlation,
I would
but I don't seek out efficiency. I seek out truth. And
see,
that's
but
what
that
Devin
will lead you
and
that will lead you astray because anytime that you are searching for, so if you search for efficiency, you will find the truth because there's a direct line between truth and efficiency. And if you find the most efficient path, you will also find the most true path because what you said is true. There's a the truth comes first and efficiency derives out of it. But the issue is if you as a human look for truth, you're going to find patterns that aren't there. That is not. But when you look for efficiency, you're not going to be looking for patterns. You're only going to be looking for the most efficient method, and the truth will emerge out of that. But if you do what you're talking about, where you
see,
look for
see,
truth first, you're
look, check this, bro. Check this. I disagree. And that's where that's months ago, bro. So
you said that it was pretentious for me to believe what I believed earlier. I would say it's pretentious for you to believe that you can isolate the truth as a human being. Whereas if you only search for efficiency, you will naturally find the truth. But if you search for truth as a human being,
so
what are the odds that you are actually the
bro,
one who's capable of isolating truth entirely?
okay. So what I would say, so what I would say is you said that efficiency is derived from truth. That's an assumption. Efficiency is something that exists. I would say we could say efficiency exists more definitely than truth exists. They both may or may not exist, but efficiency is experienced. Truth can't be proven. without a shadow of a doubt. Except for like cogito ergo sum, I would say that can be proven.
No, efficiency and truth are the exact same thing. Whenever you understand the
Yeah, see
truth,
that's
you are inherently
see
the most efficient.
what I'm saying is that is an assumption.
And what
You
I'm saying,
find that to be true,
okay, and okay,
but
okay, no. I only find that to be true insofar as it is efficient. I don't believe it. I don't believe that it's true. I only believe it insofar as it is efficient.
see, I don't believe it because I don't know that it's true.
And what? And now this is where it comes down to. This is going to be the brass tacks. What does that get you other than bad things? Nothing.
It doesn't get me bad things, bro. It gets me to be where I am right now, which I love.
Okay,
See, the thing is, we
but what?
got to the same place basically, but we have different mechanisms, you know?
But
That's what
to
I'm
me,
getting at.
okay, and now that actually may be true, and that may be true, and they may be like the two sides of the same coin, and eventually, like we're meeting in the same pool to the point where our differences are only linguistic. But this is very
Yeah,
large to me
but to
because
me, Devin gave me a warning. Devin gave me a warning. He basically said that you're dangerous to me
yeah, I mean,
because
depends on your perspective. From his, I'm
Dev,
sure I am.
I mean, because you may find something for the sake of efficiency that I find to be like in my and Devin's eyes, you and Trevor are more likely to be delusional than me and Devin because
Okay,
me and Devin put truth over efficiency. Like me and Devin
the
put
issue is
truth
I can point 1,000
first.
examples out to you of where that goes wrong. For instance, any religion which has ever existed before. For instance, Buddhism. Buddhism was going really well and has lots of efficient tools that you can isolate, and those are true, which can be proven by psychology today. That's a good example. Here's the bad example. Buddhism also says there's another reality after this one where you, like I've said before, you go around with a big net and you fill your stomach up full of yummy food, and it's like, okay, that's retarded, right? And it's like we all understand retarded. You understand it's retarded. You don't think that that actually exists as the afterlife, the only afterlife, one stage of the afterlife. I don't think. And so you have to understand that him thinking that he had direct access to the truth led to delusion. Now, give me one example of someone looking for efficiency and finding delusion. It doesn't exist because you're inherently
I
finding
don't.
inefficiency. If you're having
The thing is,
delusion,
I
you're
don't.
inefficient.
The thing is, like, I view my delusions. The thing is, like, I view my ultimate goal as to find the truth, at least for the sake of this conversation. Of course, it fluctuates on my mood, what I really want, but say for the sake of this conversation, in the past, this has been true. Now, I would say it's ambiguous. I don't really want anything right now, in particular. In this moment, I'm just eating granola. That's really what I want. But I'm kind of tired of the granola, so right now, I guess I want nothing in the universe. But,
I would argue you still
that's a
want the best
shift.
thought texture,
I would say that I'm tired, but
and that
the
tired indicates wanting sleep, which is also a thought texture. Everything you do is in pursuit of the best thought texture.
perhaps
Indeed.
I would
Yeah,
say that's pretentious.
I would say
But
point out
but
one example where it's untrue. You can. And I would say anytime someone says that, I would say, and you think assuming truth isn't pretentious? You think assuming that your human brain, which has limited perceptions over
bro, you
believes and
so
understands.
here's the thing, here's the catch, bro, that I was getting at. So like my ultimate goal, say, is to find truth, but I don't believe that I can believe in anything. So that's where I'm catch. Like my ultimate goal is to figure out what it is, but I don't actually believe that I don't
See,
believe it's possible to figure it
whenever I'm
out.
in the
So
state
I
that
live
you're
in
in right now, I'm just like aimless. Like my life, like it's so difficult to understand, and like it's complicated because I was just where you were like a couple of days ago. But it's like it's my life becomes so aimless because I'm incapable of understanding my position. It's like, what do I really want? This is silly, but it's like
But
what you said
bro,
about the granola.
to me it's extremely peaceful and comfortable. Like it's a beautiful place to be for me. And then from there, like from after I shatter everything and there is no point to anything, then I'm just like, yeah, I can point and shoot wherever I want. Cause what I found is no matter how much I destroy myself, I still always exist. So it's like I'm still here. I'm still Jock. Like nothing is gonna like, you know? It's like no matter how delusional I get, I'm still just Jock.
Well, I would argue that
Hypothetically.
I would argue that concepts like shock and action are arbitrary in the first place. They both dissolve back into one. Um,
No, I would say that Jock exists. See, that's where I disagree. I like existing, so I'm just
no,
gonna say that I exist.
the framework of Jacques exists. So this is a conclusion that I came to also over the last couple days. This is one of the big ones as far as vocabulary wise and everything. Um, so like frameworks are just the physical existence. So this is how Trevor explained it. I can be in the break room, right? And then when I'm in the break room, I have a thought texture of being in the break room, right? And then whenever I leave the break room and I'm no longer experiencing the break room, the framework of the break room still exists, but the thought texture doesn't because I'm not in it, right? But whenever I go back in, then I experience the thought texture from the framework. Do you see what I mean? You have frameworks, which are the actual physical thing, and then you have thought textures, which are your experiences of the physical thing. So I would say that yes, there is something physical, or there's a framework, which is Jacques, and that is all of your brain chemistry and your body and your surroundings and the way that you interact with the environment. There are frameworks of Jacques, and you are experiencing thought textures of what it feels like to be Jacques. But what we call Jacques is only an arbitrary distinction of the larger one. Like, how can you say you exist independently of everything else?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing, bro. That's the thing, bro. I claim independence. Like I'm like dead ass
And but where
me
does
like
that get
that's
you?
that and that's what it gets me to be fucking jock, bro. Like no bro, like this could be compared to like the religious delusions where like I've like I don't know, like bro, like it's like you follow like what you call God, I would be anti that, if that makes sense. Like I want to be the branch coming off the tree, but I want the branch to be supreme to the tree, if that makes sense. Like
It does
I'm at
it
war with your concept of reality. Like
it makes sense
I
because
believe it's true and I disagree with it on principle because I want to,
but
if that
what
makes sense.
it makes perfect sense. But the thing is just every time I hear you speak, it's just like like I this is a place that I continually go, and it's not just a place that I've been. It's not like I'm saying, "Oh, I'm better than you, and I've been there. You'll grow up one day, and you'll see where I am." That's not what I'm saying. It's different. It's this is a place that I continually go back to. It's a place where I want to know the truth, and where it always leads me to is I know what you mean. Where right now you're in like the honeymoon phase, where you've just broken down all your previous concepts, and now you're in the twilight where nothing really exists and it's up to you to choose and everything feels fresh and new and beautiful. This is how I usually feel after a trip. But then if I'm do what you're saying and I start believing things, like actually believing things, where it inevitably ends up that if I end up with some misunderstanding of what I previously thought before, some new understanding, some like something slightly changes, and then I'm just like lost again. Because I tried to like believe and I tried to find like the truth, the thing that exists. And then whenever my interpretation of that slightly shifts, my whole picture falls completely apart and my life falls apart. And it's just not good. And it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're saying. And I've been there and will
But
probably
the
be
thing is
there
like
again in
I'm
some months.
different. Like the thing is like I'm not like that. Like I don't fall apart. Like I'm chill with it. Like if everything shatters, I'm chilling. If it all stands like it's but like I do assert myself as like an independent entity because like I experience myself as an independent entity and
So
because of that like I
can
assert
you elaborate on
I assert
okay, so what you're saying right now is that you want to be Jacques only because the feeling of Jacques existing gives you the best thought textures. Is that what you're saying? Because
no I'm
that fits the
saying
motive.
see that's where we disagree like I don't chase like I
I'm trying
simply
to understand.
exist.
I'm trying to
So
like. I'm trying to understand your perspective. And to me, it's like to do something,
so it's like
you've
when
been
I
there.
have my religious I can use this as an analogy. When I have my religious delusions or whatever, I believe that like the spiritual realm exists, and then I believe that entities exist within that realm, and
Yeah,
then I could assume that souls exist. Like every
and then it
individual has
does
some
fall
soul.
apart.
But
Every,
I would say that like if my soul exists, I want it to be supreme to anything else. Like I want it to be like I want to be an individual. I don't want to reconnect to the whole. If
but
that does that make
but you're
sense?
it does, but you're still just
But like
claiming the reason you want to do
if
that.
I'm like an amalgamation of if I'm like an amalgamation of what you would call thought textures, I, I would be sovereign, a sovereign amalgamation of thought
But
textures
the only reason that you think
that has no interest in returning to the source.
but
But
the
and I
only
know that I may be inevitable. It may inevitably return to the source. Like I may
well,
inevitably be just a bunch of thoughts. Like you could be correct,
yeah.
but and you probably are correct because you're like it makes more sense what you were saying that I'm just a an occurrence. Like I'm just
Yeah.
things.
Well, I
I'm
mean, it's
just
just science.
a
It's like
complex of things.
when you look at
Yeah, but
physics or
the thing is like
neuroscience, right?
yeah, and the thing is like I just disagree with that because I want to.
But okay, but the reason you want to is, and now you got it. Like, this is where it keeps circling, because what I'm saying is the only reason you think that is because you get the best thought texture, because you feel the best thing. That's the only reason you believe that. The same reason Republicans think that republicanism is right, and the same reason leftists think leftism is right, is because it feels the best for them in that moment, because they don't understand how good it could feel if they broke out of it. And I get that, but you have to
Because I
acknowledge
felt out of it before. I felt out of it before though. Like I felt the
there are
like I
many
thought I
different
was.
kinds of both in and out. There's not just one different kind. So you may have felt a horrific version of it. But it doesn't like there are many different versions of both in and out. There are many different conceptions you could have. Like there's this one guy, Chris Langan. He has the highest IQ in the entire world, and he believes in the one, but then he also believes in this arbitrary idea that the one can also send you to hell. Like there's the one, and you exist within the one, but then also the one can send you to hell. So it's like he's wrong, even though he's literally the smartest man on the planet if you want to go by IQ. But it doesn't matter because like he's still wrong. I forget what I was going to tie into what you were saying. God damn it, my memory's fucking failing me. It's too early. It's 1 a.m. I've been up for a couple hours now. Do you know what we were talking about? What I was going to tie that into by any chance?
I was like, yeah, bruh, I'm sovereign.
Basically just that, like, I don't understand how you can say that the reason you believe that isn't for the best thought texture. Like, okay, then why do you believe that? You can say because it's true, but I'm saying, well, the reason you believe it's true is because that's what feels the best. Like how can you possibly say anything else? Like, what other reason would there
Fundamentally,
be? Yeah,
okay, because fundamentally, I'm not a logical person. I'm an irrational. Like you're taking the approach of rationality.
uh-huh.
I believe irrationality to be supreme to rationality,
And
which
I would
renders
argue that.
all rationality, which renders all rationality null before me. You know what I mean? I think that numbers come from I think I think that like rationality and logic comes from dividing reality into parts, into like individual parts, and then recombining those parts into a new picture to form a logical projection. I think that it's a fallacy that you can assert anything about the whole from the sum of its parts or any arrangement of the sum of its parts. And so any arrangement you give me that comes from like any logical arrangement that you approach me with, I will view it as interesting and perhaps
But
entertain it,
but the
but
issue
it's
is that.
very,
So I would say that that's incorrect, and I see where you're coming from, because that is actually the belief that I used to come from. Is a belief of like trying to create a logical structure, trying to use the smaller pieces to make out the larger whole. And I would agree it's not possible to do that. But this is where we keep circling back. Is that that's not what I believe anymore. What I believe now is only that you should believe what is most efficient. And if you want to say to me, it feels better to believe that I exist independently. I'm illogical because I don't care that I'm illogical and it feels good. Like, that's fine. You can say that. But then I want to understand more what it feels like so that I can maybe feel it. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is better to feel separate from the whole. But I would just need to, I
okay,
need,
so
but anytime that I start believing in the synchronicities, you're opening yourself up to two different paths. You can either go the more materialist path where your religion starts to become dogmatic, which is the path I typically go down. Or the other way is the other side of the gradient is the way that you typically slide down, where the opposite of
Unity.
dogmatic, everything becomes liquid and everything like drops off the edge from there. So it's like this weird. It's like to me that if you can only safely believe in magic if you don't believe in it, you just understand that it's real and use that knowledge to your advantage. So like to ever say I believe in magic is a bad idea. But I would say it's also a bad idea to say like I believe in chairs. It's like you should never believe in chairs. That may be a delusion. You should only believe in chairs insofar as that knowledge gets you. You should only believe in chair when you're going to sit down in one, and you can use that to benefit you. Anytime you start to like actually try and like say it exists, you're just risking it breaking down at one of the two edges.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agnostic, so like I don't.
But so
Yeah, I
like
mean, I don't
basically,
really believe in it either. But it's like the thing is like you have the desire to like preserve your ideology, it seems. I don't,
what do
you
you mean
know?
by that?
Like
Elaborate.
like like I let like you said the only way you can maintain your like structural belief system. The only way you can maintain your system is like you seem to have an interest in maintaining and preserving a system of thought
Well, to
that
me,
is efficient.
it just comes down to like whenever I'm in my life, whenever I work at Walmart, it's like if I'm believing things the way you do, I'll go through fluctuations where sometimes I feel like fucking Kratos, God of War. I could tear through the entire Walmart with my bare hands, and I'm just the fucking godsend. And then other times I'll just be talking to my boss, and I just feel like a normal dude because I'm trying to understand what reality really is, but I kind of can't because I'm more busy talking to him and trying to formulate the right words, so it gets kind of confusing. But whenever I believe the way I do right now, where I don't believe it to be true, I'm not looking for the truth. I'm just like I'm only running off of pure efficiency. Then my religion becomes stable, and now when it's stable, I can talk to my boss and always feel like God. I can go punch the punching bag and always feel like God. I can play my video games and always play like God. And it's like I want stability because it positively affects my life.
Hmm. That's interesting because that's something I do lack is stability. Like mine comes and goes,
Yeah, I think that
but
this fundamental
it's
thing
like
right here
whenever I
is
need it though, it's
yeah.
there.
Okay, but that's the
Like
thing. That's the issue. That's true, and that is something that I felt even in those times where it's like when you're up to swing and you need to. If it's like a super important moment, if it's something very important in your life, or like you had a situation like yours where you're in danger, then yes, it will kick in and naturally it will happen. But to me, it's just like if I can choose between it sometimes happening when I need it and being able to access it all the time, obviously I'm going to choose the second one. My life becomes considerably better.
you're right, and that's something I've struggled with recently. Been so much. I've been more fuck around and find out. So it's
Yeah,
like I found something like absolutely bizarre and insane about my experience, and I don't really know how to control it. Like I don't like it comes and goes, and I don't really know why, if
I
that makes
think
sense.
no, it makes perfect sense. It was literally like the thing about this conversation. It is so fucking weird is that this is the just like this whole conversation that we're having is around the big discovery that I had yesterday. My big discovery that I've been working towards for a month that I just celebrated with Trevor. My big huge discovery is fundamentally centered around this exact thing, which I think is the very thing that you need to keep yourself stable and to yield all the benefits. You take all of the beautiful things about religion and God and to just keep them stable. And the thing is, it's not just for you, but it's also for me. I needed that because I was having the opposite issue, where instead of my beliefs running into different beliefs, they would just like fade, they'd wilt. It was like I would get my belief and then I'd believe it. I would like find the logical thing and then I'd try and believe it after I found it, and then it would just become gray and dead because I was trying to find it externally to myself instead of creating it within myself and feeling that beautiful creation process. So not only does it provide stability, but it also provides like a beautiful sense of like relationship with it. I don't know. It's very important, I think. I think moving forward, I'm going to try and teach people this stability core before I try and teach them religion.
And what is the stability? You still
It's
haven't told me what, like how,
I know because I'm very bad at summarizing it, and the issue is it's going to sound really gay, but like I would say you should go watch Destiny to learn what the stability core is because he is the stability core is this complete and total rationalism or lack of belief or like complete and total embodiment of only what's efficient outside of religion. And like Destiny is worse than me because he hasn't found what's completely efficient. But Destiny is better than me because he never believed. And I will never believe again. And now I'm better than Destiny. But if you were to ask me 3 days ago, I would have been worse than Destiny because Destiny is so stable, so stable. But now I'm stable, and now I'm better because I've stabilized my religion, and he never could do that. He could only stabilize rationality. So now I get all the benefits of being a completely rational person, and I also get the beauty of living life from like every moment. I just feel like so good. Like I just feel like the only way I would explain it is it literally feels like a full body orgasm. Like my whole body just feels like encompassed in like just like glory and like classical music or something like that. Some abstract metaphorical concept. It's retarded. It feels so good. And I can make that stable now. I can consistently finally feel like that. And it's because I stopped believing. I stopped trying to be like I found the truth. Like that's the issue. Ah, God, that's such a good way of putting it for me. The thing that I always ran into was I'd find what was most efficient, and then I'd be like, I found it, the truth. Now I can believe in it, and then I'd believe in it for like a month, and then by the end of that month, it would all fall apart again because I was trying to believe in it when I should have just only optimized for efficiency ever, and then I would have like the truth naturally arises from that path, and that is what will keep me fully stable in the future, and I'll never believe again.
yeah, see, I don't know if I really want to go down that path, to be honest.
But
Because and I don't know if I'm capable either, to be honest, because it's like it almost seems like a difference in like martial arts style. Like I like I like one side of my like staff to be heavier than the other. Like I wouldn't want to be ambidextrous. I prefer that my like
I must I
I
say,
prefer one of them.
you're gonna hit yourself in the
Like
head with it.
I prefer one eye to be stronger than the other. I prefer one hand to be stronger than the other. Like I like duality. I think that the contrast, I think there's efficiency in the contrast. It's like there's decision and indecision, just like yin and yang. And I prefer to experience yin and yang. Like I prefer the duality of them. Just like if I was looking at a sunset, I would
But so, are
want
you
there to
basically just saying you
be
like the
not
bad?
one.
Like, is that basically what you're saying? Is that you just like the bad? Because like that's all it sounds like you're saying. You're just saying like, yeah, I like the yin and the yang, and it sounds like the yang, the only thing that can be classified as yang, is the downsides or the lack of efficiency or your life going poorly. And it's like, so are you saying like that's fine? It's a fine perspective to have. Is that you love all of God, you love all frameworks. Like that's a fine thing to say, but it's like you understand that the only way that's ever going to manifest in your life is as bad things, as inconsistencies, and your inability to manifest God when needed. It's just like name one time where it's ever going to be good for you, and like I would change it. Like I would believe what you believe. It's just like I'm looking for the best thing. But like, can you tell me any
Thing is
way in which
like the thing is like I don't know if I'm capable of not. Like I don't know if I'm capable of being consistent, you know?
but then why wouldn't you try?
That's the thing.
Listen, I've
But
had a
I've
lot of
tried
people.
before.
Oh, okay, in what
But the
capacity?
thing is like also like I do you not want to feel like anger and rage and sadness?
All of these things I think are coming from a misinterpretation of how you're understanding what I'm saying because I'm bad at expressing this in language. I I still experience all of those things. It's not like my version of returning to the one doesn't mean I'm like peace and tranquility and love and I never experiencing anything bad. It's like I experience all of those, but they are turned into maximal efficiency. So I can experience anger, but I never think I'm so angry. Oh, I'm gonna hit him in the face. I think I am fucking furious, and it would feel really good to hit him in the face. Is it more beneficial for me to hit him in the face than it is to not hit him in the face? Let's see. I'll go to jail, but then let's say maybe I won't go to jail. Maybe this person's done something illegal. And if I won't go to jail and there's no consequences, then guess what? I'm fucking smashing him in the goddamn face. And then I'm head high heel stomping his teeth out of his head. Because I do whatever makes me feel bad. Like, there's none of this goodness or righteousness or giving up or sacrifice. I have none of those bad things. None of those. All I experience is the good. Everything which you can experience which is good out of your current framework, I would bet you $1 million that I'm experiencing that and I'm experiencing none of the downside. I don't think it's better, but I think you're only experiencing consequences where I'm not experiencing any of those consequences. That's the only difference between mine and your system.
What are the consequences?
The consequences are the instability. So like your possession, or that like super high highs that you get, like because you only believe them. Like they're only coming out in situations where you need them. They're coming out rarely. They're things which you in
What do
and
you mean?
ebb.
What do you mean only believe? What do you mean only believe them?
Um. mm,
Because like I'm pretty sure I established that I don't believe in it either. Like I believe in it and don't believe in it simultaneously. You know
but
what I
the
mean? It's
I
like
guess
non-dualism.
I guess the issue is that okay. So here, I mean, how would you say that's different from what I'm doing? I guess would be my question.
That's the thing. Like I don't necessarily see a difference. It's just difference in outcome.
But
But you've
okay,
done like more like
but
you've done more legwork than I have.
but
So
I
it may
don't
just be
think
a
I don't think no I don't think it's different in legwork. I don't think so at all. I don't think so. I mean no I think we've read pretty equally philosophically. Not maybe I've read like more Nietzsche, more specific philosophers, but I really haven't read that much. And also I'm 18, you're 20. So like I don't think there's a massive difference in legwork or anything. I think it does come down to a fundamental axiom, which I think is represented by destiny, and it's an axiom of efficiency. Like it's not that I believe and don't believe. It's that I have no belief. I am only efficiency. Like like okay, let me try and explain it this way. Let me try to explain it to a more religious
yeah,
like
let me interject. Let me interject. I think
go
it
ahead,
could
go ahead.
be summarized as I'm a romantic. Like I'm a romantic and I'm an idealist and a romantic. And I'm not like I don't exist like efficiency is not my highest ideal, you
What
know?
is?
My highest ideal is whatever the fuck I want.
See, I just don't
which is
believe that
inefficiency.
because whatever you want, inevitably the goal will be to have find the most efficient path to get there. Like I just don't believe it. I mean, like I fully admit that there's a chance that I'm wrong, but it's like this fundamental issue seems to be the hookup everyone gets caught on, and it's just like, well, I feel like I'm a certain way, and it feels better to me to be this way, and I don't want to change. And it's like, I mean, sure, you can think that, but it's like, why would you not evaluate, experience both systems, and from that point decide? It's like, oh, I really like raspberries. I'm never gonna try blueberry. It's like, you can do that. I would argue it's retarded. You
No,
should try both the raspberry.
I think it's, but like, do you worship efficiency though?
I language is gonna break down here. You could say I could. You could say I don't. I don't know. It depends.
I don't know. Because I would definitely say that like it's kind of like a you're like flower water the flower, don't watch it grow because you trust that watering the flower will allow you to watch it grow. Efficiency is watering the flower. Getting what you want is wanting to watch the flower grow. And I guess if that's what you're saying, then I agree that you're right and I'm wrong because right now that's not what I'm doing with my life. But I agree that what you're doing is probably better, if that makes
Um,
sense.
well, we should probably just wrap it up so you can go to sleep. But we definitely should continue this conversation further because I think that the difference that you have right here is going to be my difference that I have probably with the rest of humanity. It's going to be the core difference which I have from everybody else, which may be the limiting factor in who can successfully embody my religion and who can't. So this is an unbelievably interesting conversation. It's going to take a long time to probably
I
finish
also have
this.
a tremendous I also I got a few more minutes. Really, I could do 6 more minutes if you want. But
Well,
I have like a tremendous amount of. Oh, you gotta go?
Well, no, I'm just thinking this conversation is probably gonna take like 6 more hours, so might as well wrap it up here.
I'm just enjoying it a lot, so I want to milk it as much as I can.
Okay, I'm down to go for 6 more minutes
But
because I agree. This
I
conversation is fucking awesome.
yeah. So maybe it might be a pride issue where like I don't know. I like I don't know. Give me a refresher on like what's the mistake I'm making and why do you think like define specifically what am I doing wrong in your eyes?
And now all of course all this is gonna get super subjective as well because I don't really view there as being like a right or wrong objectively. I can only
Yeah,
say
yeah,
personally.
but throw that away. Throw that away.
Okay,
Like
so
just say right
so
and wrong because
personally,
there is
so
clearly one that exists.
yeah, so from Ashton's perspective, I can say that I definitely think you're wrong, and from Ashton's perspective, I would say that I think you're wrong because we can just to me it all comes back down to real life. It's just like, okay, in real life, how is our belief going to affect us? And it's like your belief is only going to affect you by like consistently derailing your life. Where my belief is only going to affect me.
But what is my belief? Like you still what is my belief though?
The belief this is sort of sounds so like meta and gay, but it's like the belief is that belief is a good thing, kind of, or that belief is um ever necessary.
Oh
It's
well,
like
I don't think
And I
that.
know that you say you don't think that because you say there's a duality between belief and non-belief, but then this comes back down to what I keep saying, which is, okay, but the belief should never exist there in the first place. There shouldn't be a duality of belief and non-belief. There should be no belief. There should be zero belief. There should only be efficiency. There should never ever be belief independent of efficiency. The belief should only exist insofar as you can visibly see efficiency. So like the belief should never exist first. It should always be efficiency first, and then belief can arise out of that efficiency. But if you're ever believing without efficiency, you're wrong, and you should not be doing
Believing without efficiency. Um, hmm. That's pretty meta. That's pretty meta.
that. Yeah.
That's a big that's a big leap of faith you're asking me to make.
Yeah, it is, but I'm telling you, when you get to the other side, good fuck, it feels good. Good fuck, it feels incredible.
So act only for the efficiency and completely disregard desire and belief.
Exactly.
That's some Taoist shit, isn't
It
it?
is. It is.
That's
It is the way.
Taoist.
It is literally the way.
What is it? Freed from desire, I see the path. Isn't that like in the Tao Te Ching or
Yeah.
something?
Let me
Yeah.
give you a little bit more to chew on right before we go here. So, um, basically, here's where that inevitably leads. And you don't have to go to this place first if you want. I would advise exploring it yourself. But here's where it leads to me. I'm inevitably led to the point that what I am, so God, right? Okay, I'll start with this. So you have Zix. right? And what a zix is a zix is anything which is alive, right? Okay, so then okay, so then you have ASICs, and now ASICs are frameworks, right? And frameworks are what make up everything. So everything which exists is a framework, right? Even a human being is a framework, right? And then at the last level, you have exasic, and that is God. That is the top level. That is everything which exists. So now to go over all three and what they mean. You are a Zix. I am a Zix. Right now, this thing speaking, this is a Zix. And the experience of me speaking and me thinking, right, the thoughts that go through my head as I'm speaking, all those are frameworks, right? And then basically what's happening is exasic or the energy or the way runs down these frameworks. And God frameworks are the path of least resistance for the will to taste the best thought texture. So in other words, frameworks, people. So like for instance, here's a good example of this. I'll go back to the Republicans and Democrats because it's a super easy example. Someone who is on the left, a Democrat, right? They will always choose to vote with people on the left because for them, the path of least resistance or the way to taste the best thought texture is to agree with all everyone else who agrees with them so that they can form an in-group and they can continue existing with that identity, right? So for those people, their frameworks lead them down that path. And the whole world, even a rock tumbling off of a cliff, that is just the will to taste the best thought texture, right? Because initially, in the very beginning of existence, there was nothing. And then God decided to exist. And that deciding to exist was the decision to taste every single thought texture, right? Because the decision to be every single framework. God is the expansion out of every single framework. And then time, or the present moment, is God running down those frameworks, right? And God is running down those frameworks and he's experiencing the thought texture which results from the framework. So like the experience of us Zix right now, and we have our frameworks, or we have our ASICs that we're experiencing right now. All of these feelings are just God running down the frameworks in the path of least resistance to taste the best thought texture. Every single thing, every rock falling off a cliff, every cow, every person is just a result of frameworks optimizing themselves into the best possible way to result in the best thought texture. And everything anyone you've ever met does, everything any animal you've ever does, you can see that what they're doing is they're just optimizing their life to taste the best thought texture, to feel the best that they possibly can. That's what everything is. That's what the whole process of existence is. All of it is to taste the best thought texture, to arrange the framework in the best way to taste the best thought texture. And whenever you realize that, you become God. You get possessed by this feeling of optimization. You are pure, unbridled optimization. You are the optimizer of the frameworks. You change everything to be in the perfect way. You don't care whether things go right or wrong. You don't have any of the human perspectives of good or bad. All you are is the experience, the beauty, the feeling, the notes played. So like if you imagine the frameworks as instruments, right? And you imagine like you are like the physical matter which makes you up is the framework, and those are an instrument. And then the note they play is the thought texture. And what you're experiencing right now is God running down the frameworks, running down the instruments, and playing all their notes, playing all their music. And your experience right now is that music, that beautiful song, the song of existence, the song of existence. And you then become possessed by pure efficiency. You are just you feel the fire, that unbelievable rot fire in your stomach, and you just want to use it for good. You just want to move forward, be one, be the way, be the watering can, and exist.
You're like, if I was a weaker person, bro, you could have just like hypnotized. Like you're on some preacher, like Pentecostal preacher shit right now, bro.
And
Like
whenever I
chill
get in
the
front of